To speak to Randi, call 561-270-3844. 561-270-3844.
You want to see why they're panicking? You want to see? Watch this. Watch this.
How many of you were supporting Joe Biden 14 days ago? Raise your hands. None of you. How many of you, if the election were held today, would vote for the Democratic nominee, Kamala Harris?
I would.
Okay, that's all of you.
None of you to all of you.
Yeah.
And Frank Luntz is with us now. Frank, so thank you so much for being with us. Let me just ask you, if the election were held today, who would win?
She would win. And I want to emphasize, it's not just about momentum. And I thought your commentary just before this was dead on. It's also about passion. It's about commitment. And Harris voters are even more eager to vote for her than Donald Trump voters are to him.
Oh, wow.
I've not seen that in the entire campaign. Call that intensity. And her campaign is generating the intensity. And another key component is exactly why this is happening. She's talking and emphasizing her persona, her attributes, her character traits. And that's where Donald Trump has been commenting. And the fact is, the American people do not want to hear the same kind of negativity, the same kind of attacks that he's been delivering. His strength is on issues, most particularly the two issues that matter most, inflation and immigration. But instead of speaking about those two issues and talking about the failures of the Biden administration, he's been making these personal attacks, and it's frankly turning the voters off that he needs to reach.
So I just want to let you know that inflation is actually something that is happening because of price gouging and broken supply chains. And because they can. You know, yesterday Kroger announced that it was going to use artificial intelligence to gather data on its shoppers, and that it was going to have digital pricing on its shelves instead of the papers, you know, that slide into the plastic, right? And it says, you know, like $3.99 for, you know, a box of Nature Valley granola bars or whatever it is. So they're going to do digital, and the digital is going to respond literally to you standing in front of it. And it's going to see how much they could raise their prices before you don't buy something that you normally buy. That's price gouging, okay? And that is science price gouging. Kamala Harris understands this and is a very good trust buster. Kroger wants to buy Albertsons. Can you imagine having even less people owning the grocery business than we already do? Do you know how much profit they take, Kroger's, every year, year over year? You know, good business is what? 5% profit, 6% profit? Everybody would think that they were doing really well. 10%, my God. 20% profit year over year, Kroger. Billions and billions and billions of dollars in profit, all by raising the prices that you pay. Just saying. You want to know where the royal scam is? That's where the royal scam is, okay? But people understand this, and they are intensely passionate about her because she is somebody that knows what gouging is and how to stop it. In fact, the Democrats had an anti-gouging bill. I've told you this a million times, and the Republicans all blocked it. Same thing with J.D. Vance. You know what's really interesting? J.D. Vance is out there saying that they're the pro-family party, right? That they love, the babies, and that people aren't having babies because they can't afford them, and that's disgusting, and that's wrong, and America's got its priorities wrong. Meanwhile, we had a child tax credit vote the other day. Yeah. The day that he was down at the border, remember that day where he was standing in front of it looked like a Tonka toy. It was like a nice, clean backhoe, and it was up against, the fence. And he was at the border, walking in his flannel shirt, trying to look all Appalachian guy, right? That was the day that they were taking the vote on the child tax credit. And J.D. Vance didn't vote on the child tax credit. Now, he had a chance to vote for it before he voted no. He blocked it. Along with every other senator, he blocked it. So, this idea that they're pro-family is so wrong. It's just, I don't know how they think that they're going to come in at the end and lie about them being more pro-family, and that climate change isn't being, denied by the billionaire class that want to keep on belching crap into the air or dumping crap into your water or dropping crap on your mountaintops. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, it's so obvious. Everybody who wouldn't vote for Biden because they just didn't feel that a president should end his term being 86 years old. will vote for Kamala. And that's why they're panicking. That's why. And Donald Trump is panicking. And he's melting down. He's becoming delusional, okay, which is what happens when your brain is so addled with narcissism, and all of a sudden you're made to feel rejected. You're made to feel, bullied even by or trolled. She's trolling him. You understand that? Everything. The immigration issue. You know what she did? She took it. She owns it. She's all about it. She's like, immigration, it's the lowest it's been since 2020. What are you talking about? What's wrong with you people? We got this. We got this border under control. And how come it is that when we passed a comprehensive border security bill that had lots of crap for you Republicans in it, also the child tax credit had lots of crap for Republicans in it. You know what the Democrats did? For the child tax credit, the federal child tax credit that they sunsetted, the Republicans did. They did away with it. The Democrats said, let's compromise on this. Okay, so what is it that you want? And they went, corporate tax cut. All right, we'll give you some corporate tax credits, and in exchange, you give us a child tax credit. How's that? They still blocked it. They still blocked it, even though the Democrats gave them some of what they wanted in order to get kids out of poverty. Yeah, we suck. And then the same thing with the border bill, right? You know that. James Langford, one of the most conservative senators there is from Oklahoma, he worked with Chris Murphy from Connecticut and Kirsten Sinema from Arizona in order to craft this was not a citizenship. This was not a path to citizenship. This was not a DACA bill. This had nothing to do with people. Okay, this bill was totally about border security. It was completely and utterly about putting surveillance equipment on the border to intercept drugs, fentanyl, etc. It was about, more asylum judges. It was about detention beds, clean ones, not the kind where, kids are in cages, covered in aluminum or Mylar blankets, but like real places that we could build to take in people and process their asylum claims quickly, efficiently, in a manner that actually looks 21st century. And they said no. They said no. So now the border, their strongest issue, decimated by their own hand. And she owns this now, and she's riding it to success. She's going to ride it into the White House because they know exactly what they proposed doing would work because they did it by executive order, and it works. But an executive order is temporary, and they know that. And if you change presidents, it goes away, you see. And then the border is again compromised, and again we're seeing people come in, and guess what Trump does? Right, mass deportations, raids, total chaos in every industry, across industries, in every state across this country. You know how terrifying that would be? For families, for children, for business owners. Don't have time to listen to the live show? Want to hear more on your schedule? Go to RandiRhodes.com and buy a stinking podcast.